Welcome to episode 0 of the Nihon no Madoguchi podcast with your hosts Domo
And Marty also said Maruchin for the friends.
right, full name Dominique, whichever you guys prefer. And we're coming at you with this first episode 0, talking about
How to get to Japan, and especially how to get to Japan right in the middle of a pandemic. We are pretty much screwed when it comes to going abroad, but hey, we kinda managed to squeeze into Japan ourselves. And since it's quite an endeavor, we would like to share with you guys all this process that is getting in Japan through a pandemic.
exactly.
But maybe first we should introduce ourselves. Who are we and how come we are here in Japan? So maybe Dominic, would you do the honor to introduce yourself first so that we can know why and what are you doing there at the moment?
Sure. I'll go ahead and start us off. So my name is Dominique Jenkins. I go by Domo or Domo. I'm from Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, in the United States, and I am currently in Japan as a CIR on the JET program. And most of you who are watching this, listening to this podcast, probably know what the JET program is, but I'll explain a little bit. Is the acronym JET stands for Japan's Exchange and Teaching Program, and in the program there are 3 different positions. The AOT, which is the most common position, assistant language teacher, where you come and teach English in Japanese schools. The CIR, which is a little bit more rare, I guess. 90% of the people who apply for JET are AOTs. CIRs is about 9%. And then CIR stands for Coordinator of International Relations, and we work in government offices. Some do deal with the BOEs, the boards of educations in different prefectures and cities and stuff like that. Every situation is different. And then you have the SEAs, which is basically the sport administrators, the sport advisors. They come and literally just teach sports to children in Japan. And that's like 1%. There's almost none of them. And I'm currently in quarantine at the moment in a hotel, living the good life. But it's it can make you go crazy sometimes.
Is it sponsored by the government or do you pay yourself to stay in the hotel?
It is definitely sponsored by the government. The JET program is a government-sponsored program. So everything up until we get to our placements, I'll be going to Saga Prefecture in Kyushu.
Damn.
It's paid for by the government.
I see.
We do not pay for anything, no plane tickets, the accommodations, the food is all paid for, and transportation as well. We're in Tokyo currently, and I have to fly down to Kyushu, but they pay for that as well. So once I get there, then it's all on me. We're no longer JET's responsibility. We're now the local municipality's responsibility.
Okay.
It switches from them to them.
So right now you're managed by the Japanese government, or is it the American government that funds you in the States and everything like that?
Right now, like in Japan, we're the Japanese government. We're all it's on Japan right now.
Yes.
America has no longer has anything to do with us at the moment, except when it comes to taxes, apparently, because we still have to pay taxes.
Oh, really? So,
yeah.
So you're hired through. I mean, it's almost like you've been in America. You're working in America, kind of stuff, but you're actually working in Japan, kind of relation.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, the tax situation. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to work. So I still haven't even started working yet. But I'll have to pay taxes here in Japan and in America as well.
Double taxation for you.
That's what comes with the American citizenship, apparently, I guess. And you get that passport, you gotta pay them taxes in both countries. But I think there's like a loophole in the system that says as long as you make less than 75,000 before up until actually 100,000. Everything up until 100,000, you don't have to report. Like it doesn't matter. But once you make over 100,000 dollars in the foreign country, then you have to start paying taxes. And I just saw that in the article, in the video, so how true that is, I'm not entirely sure. I'll find out when I get there, though.
Let us know when you find it out. It might be interesting to know.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. All right, Marty, you want to go ahead and take it over and give your introduction and what you're doing here?
Unfortunately, my situation is a little less, let's say, peculiar. I mean, in some sort of sense, because unlike you, Domo, I actually got married Recently.
Ooh.
Yeah, to a Japanese citizen, and that's for. I mean, it was not motivated by the COVID, but I would say that the pandemic situation certainly helped speed up the process. And so I'm actually here with a temporary visa as husband of a Japanese citizen, and I'm currently applying to a longer visa, which
Mhm.
is called the Haigusha visa, which is the equivalent of the spouse visa, I guess, for America. We have the same in Europe, and it takes quite some time. So we will see if I can manage to get my visa before I will need to leave the country once more. So it's gonna be quite a wild ride, but I will have plenty of things to do while I'm here. So the unfortunate part of the whole situation right now is that being a temporary visa, I am almost the same status as a tourist,
Yeah.
which means that it might be difficult for me to work. So that's something I have to make sure with the government. So that's something I will take care of really, really soon, because apparently that's for sure you cannot have a proper work, you cannot be hired because that would be illegal, and if they know about that you risk to be kicked out of the country
Oh
apparently.
yes, most definitely.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to risk, but maybe you can start doing some application for jobs. So that's the gray zone that quite difficult to understand, and that's not a lot of information even in Japanese on website, official website. So that's something maybe quite rare as well, because usually when you get married and you come to Japan, you come here directly with a long term visa.
Mm.
But the situation being that, I mean, you want to haste the process, so I went here with the uh, more shorter, which is kind of visiting your acquaintances in Japan.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and I was also I underwent a quarantine myself as well.
But you're already out.
I am out. I am out. Gladly, I'm out. What is funny is that we are almost the last people that enjoyed a full 14 days quarantine, which
Yes.
is quite an experience, honestly,
It,
because
it
you
it is
cannot
an
go out.
experience in and of itself, yes, most definitely. And I feel like everyone around the world currently, knows what it's like to be trapped in a room or in a house for an extended period of time, not being able to go out. However, there's a little leeway with that here in Japan.
No, no, sir.
I mean, especially on the JET program, since we're being monitored by the government, and you still are technically being monitored by the government, when you come, like in Marty's situation, for marriage, because you have to have the GPS tracking and stuff like that. You're still being monitored, but there's ways to finesse it if you're on your
Yeah,
own. Might not be a good idea, but
definitely not a recommended one.
definitely a way to get around it. But here in the hotel, they got cameras everywhere. Like you can't really go where you're not supposed to go, right? You can't leave the
Yeah.
room when you're not supposed to leave the room. Yeah, you just gotta watch out for that. So it's real a pure 14-day in your room, in your house, wherever you end up staying,
Yeah.
quarantine.
It was. It's not
Oh
anymore.
well,
At,
that's true. That's true.
at the
Not now.
time we're
It
speaking.
was.
So today we are recording. It is the 18th of November.
Yes.
So currently the quarantine has been shortened to 5 days apparently, which is faster. I think it's better for your mental health as well.
I also heard that they recently allowed people who were vaccinated to only quarantine for 3 or 4 days,
Oh, really?
and maybe it's also 5 days. But the amount of documents that you have to sign to get approved for that is
Right.
not worth it. A lot of people just say it's just not worth it. It's unreasonable. It's
I
it's
see.
it's Japanese. It is like it that gives you like a image.
Right.
It allows you to see what Japanese bureaucracy is really like before you even get into the country.
Welcome to Japan.
How many documents you have to sign just to get approved for a shorter
Quarantine.
quarantine time. But with the 5 days now, it really doesn't matter if you do that or not, or if you're vaccinated or not. They don't really give preference.
Right.
I'm vaccinated, still gotta do 14 days. Marty, I believe you're also vaccinated, but
Yeah,
you
I
still have
am.
to do it
But
as
the
well.
thing is that when so I arrived in Narita airport, and they asked me if I was vaccinated, which I said, yeah, I am. And do you have a proof? Yeah, I do, but I have it on my PDF. I mean, I have a PDF on my phone. And what happened is that they told me to send them that PDF in English or with an English and or Japanese translation version of it. My PDF was already in English, and I sent it to them. And still, they didn't short my quarantine to 10 days, which is pretty unfortunate. I don't know why. What was the problem? Probably it was lost in the process, or I mean, it's pretty difficult, I guess, to organize this kind of quarantine. And in the end, I end up doing 14 days. But the funny part is that at the 10th day, they asked me to if I wanted to take a PCR test, and if I resulted negative, I could shorten the quarantine to 10 days.
Yeah.
There is a caveat, although, in which you can do your test, but it's gonna cost you about $300
Oh,
to get it done. So if you do some math, I guess that 4 days is not worth
it's not worth
that much
yeah.
amount of money, especially if you cannot do something quite productive like me. I'm not here on a business visa, so 4 days doing stuff at home. I mean, you can endure it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I wonder if I was stuck on a hotel, probably I would have paid $300 just to get out.
Yeah, like honestly, they're actually where I am, where I'm currently located. We're like in the middle of Shinjuku, right? Nishi Shinjuku, and I am on the side of the hotel that has like a nice view of the city, and the
Damn.
other side has a nice view of the city as well. But you can also see Mount Fuji.
Oh,
I can't see Mount Fuji. It's unfortunate, but there's also if I look right down, I'm on the 25th floor. If I look right down to the street, there's a convenience store. It's a
oh.
7-Eleven right there on the corner, and it taunts me every day. I just want to go in there and just buy. It's like right across the street. Like there's no chance for me to catch the Rona.
It's there.
I just run in there with my grab
there.
it, come back up to the 25th floor, and I'm in here. But the time that I've spent here in the hotel, like the first week, I was just so unmotivated to do anything.
Right.
I would like it was being here, being able to do nothing made me want to not do anything. Like yeah, I could listen to audiobooks, I could watch YouTube videos, I could watch anime, but after a while you get tired. You just want to stop. You want to do something else, but you can't. And not being able to do it, I think that's where it takes a toll on you mentally.
Right.
You want to do something, but you can't.
You can.
They're like, no, stop. Refuse. So I might have paid the $300
Really?
to get out and go on down to Saga and go to Kyushu, stop at Hakata real quick, get some ramen.
Hey.
You know, maybe stop by, see some friends. I had studied abroad in Fukuoka, so
as I.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I guess being stuck in the hotel is quite difficult. So you don't really get some sun as well, I guess, except for what comes into your window. You don't have direct going outside. You don't have a terrace. You have anything like this?
Nothing. It's like I have not breathed. Inhaled fresh air in over a week and a half now,
which is quite difficult.
I know it's cold outside.
It's getting cold.
I couldn't tell it because it's nice and warm in here. It's toasty in here. Yeah. I look outside and it looks beautiful. Like sun's out. You know, it looks warm to me. But in here, I can't really tell. Can't feel the wind on my skin. Can't feel anything.
Yeah.
I'm just in here.
Probably that's the worst part, right?
So yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough, but it's bearable. Yeah. And if you look on the bright side, I'm in Japan, right? I'm here. I'd rather be quarantining in Japan than back at home any day, right? And me and Marty here, we've made it to Japan, through marriage and through this program. And during in the middle of a pandemic, that's probably the only way you're gonna be able to get in.
Definitely.
Unless you're Japanese.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're allowing like people on business to come in as well. Like if you have a business in Japan, you have connections with businesses in Japan. Yeah. I feel like that might be the one other exception. But if you don't already have connections, yeah.
I think they opened it last week. They opened it to research and to business as well. So I think now, if you, because there was a huge situation with the pandemic, is that Japan closed its
Mm.
borders. So it means that all the exchange students, and even more a more delicate topic is that all the researchers,
Mm.
so not only in humanities but also in science, all these people that used to travel all around the globe just to strengthen the connection between university, they were halted to come to Japan, so they couldn't come. And that's a situation that's prolonged for well over 1 year. And apparently, now that they are starting processing these new visas, there is about 300 people in line waiting to get to Japan through this kind of visa.
Sheesh. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's a lot.
That sounds about right.
Mm.
Honestly, and I think I recently I just saw that I think they're also letting they're starting, like you said, I think they're starting to let the students back in,
Yeah.
like master students and things like that. Because we have a, I don't know if you saw, one of our friends had also made it to Japan,
Yeah, yeah. She did.
as on the doing the masters. I was like, oh wow, good on you. You made you got in. Like it's not
I
easy.
would
It's
say
not easy to get in there in the
you
pandemic.
squeezed in rather than you got in.
He's get, yeah, it's a very tight hole, right? And
Hey.
you gotta fit in there.
Mm,
But yeah, it's we made it.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
here. We're here.
I mean,
It's been a journey.
you still haven't stepped on Japanese soil properly, but
That's true. That's true. I've only been in the airport,
hey,
and then I walked outside, so I stepped on it a little bit. Then I
a
got on the
little bit.
bus, and then I went into a hotel and never came back out. So
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
yeah, it's I have not experienced the true Japan,
Not yet.
but I've been here before. It's
Mm,
okay. I already know what Japan is like, so I can live in my memories. Oh
right.
yeah, what Japan was.
Delightful memories.
um, so that's okay until it'll hold me
Mm,
over until I get out and head down to Saga.
right, right.
That's
So as soon as you get to Saga, you will be like actively working in your the town hall. They assign you to a town hall, I guess.
yes. I will be working in Shiakusho, right, the city hall kind of area,
Mm-hmm.
doing a variety of different things, but a lot of my job regards tourism,
Right.
dealing with tourism, doing translations for pamphlets and things like that, doing presentations for, what do you want to call them, travel agencies
Yes.
in different countries. They'll to get them to set up tours for our city.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do presentations in English for them, like that, and doing kind of like interpretation if they have any questions, ask them, and vice versa, then translate them and reply, kind of like that. Translate actual, like, documents, city hall documents and stuff, translating those kind of things. And I'll be the first CIR here in the city that I'm going to,
Damn.
so there's no precedent. So they don't have, like, really, like, okay, this is what the last person did, so you can just do what they did.
Oh yeah.
They have like kind of a general idea of what they want me to do, and then they're like, let's think of what other things you can do while you're here.
Oh.
So one of the things, like, I want to get involved in the community,
Right.
and let them know, hey, I'm here and I'm the
Mm.
CIR. You can talk to me. I'm not scary.
Exchange.
Yeah, and let
Right.
them know.
Because it's gonna be a small town, or it's gonna be like I guess it's more like the CIR are addressed to more rather smaller town. I guess, right?
Kind of. We just had a Zoom meeting today, going over business manners,
Mm.
and there was at least 2 or 3 CIRs from Tokyo. Like, they're Tokyo CIRs.
Wow.
So, like, when they leave the hotel, they're already here. They just need to go to wherever they need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is actually, if you guys have ever been in Japan, there and have been to Shinjuku, there's like a tourist guide kind of like place, like an annaijo, where you can go and ask,
Oh yeah.
like, for things like, where are these
Mm-hmm.
things. One of the CIRs will be working there. She'll be the only, like, foreigner in there working, the only CIR in there working, but she's gonna be
It's gonna be the English slave.
yeah, she's gonna that's her job. She's literally just gonna be there And
Yeah.
now there's not a lot of tourism.
Mm.
Obviously, there's zero tourism from foreigners anyway,
Almost zero.
except for those who are already here.
Yeah. Last day I was in Shibuya, and actually there was quite a few foreigners as well. I was quite surprised.
Really.
Yeah, I was like, of course, I mean the borders are not completely closed, but at the same time they felt to me pretty like tourists. You know, like you could see on their eyes
Oh,
the kind of like mesmerized look, like where am I? It's like I am in this huge town, in this huge metropolis. So I think slowly someone might be able to get in.
oh yeah,
So maybe it's not like tourists from outside, but like tourists, the English speakers
yeah, yeah, yeah,
within the country, probably like jet or professors or businessmen. A lot of businessmen actually.
yeah.
So you could see like in Shibuya, there were these kind of people. They're coming back, or maybe they were here.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know. And I think that might be, what do you want to say? Part of that might be due to the influx of people coming on the programs like Jet and what is the other one? I always forget it.
Which one?
It starts with it's another like another teaching English teaching program,
Oh, I see.
and
For
I,
Japan.
it's for Japan. But like I had a friend who also applied during the same time that I applied, and he's also the same year in terms of when we graduated,
Mm-hmm.
who applied to the JET program, but he did not get it. So five of us from our college applied, and four of us got it. One person didn't.
Poor
But
guy.
he, yeah, it was sad. It was sad. But he applied to the other program and got into it. Now it's not as good as Jet in the sense that they pay for everything for you, because I think you have to provide the funds to get over
Mm-hmm.
there or something like that. I can't remember exactly
Oh, I see.
what exactly it entails, but
Yeah.
I think the influx of all the ALTs and different foreigners coming in on those programs are might be the reason why you might see some sparkly eyed foreigners in Shibuya or in Nara or in Kyoto,
Yeah.
if they're getting placed there, especially. Yeah, yeah,
I was quite surprised. I was not expecting to see this kind of attitude, especially from foreigners, because of course we stand out more.
yeah,
It's natural. Like when you see, it's not only based on your skin color. It's just that there is this kind of attitude within the foreigner. It's completely mesmerized by the. I mean, he's in Japan. It's really the first time you get here. It's quite mind blowing. But yeah, as I was saying, it's quite weird to see this kind of attitude. I think maybe you can see it also in big cities like in Europe we have Paris or Milano. You can tell already someone is tourist because of the different way of moving yourself as well.
mm.
You have, especially in Shibuya, people run. It's like crazy how fast paced they are. They know where they want to go, and then the boom, 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 they go everywhere. And you see this tower of a tourist just not going at the same speed. It's just slow. You can see just a huge panel writing here I'm a tourist kind of feeling. So yeah, I was quite surprised to see some of them in Shibuya that was not expecting. But yeah, it's I think slowly it's getting back,
Right, right, right.
and was myself a tourist as well. So especially last time I was in Shibuya, so I guess that's to someone I might have looked like a tourist as well.
Well, I mean, you did just get out of quarantine. Was that the first place you went when you finished your quarantine?
Well, actually, I was quite unlucky because during quarantine, I always got sunny days. It was almost like end summer feeling, and gladly, I was not in a hotel. I stayed at my in-laws' house, and they had a nice little garden. So I spent my quarantine a lot in the garden. Since you cannot really step outside of the house, you're just staying in the garden
Mm.
and sunbathing and reading and waiting for the period to come. And guess what? The first day out of quarantine, was one of the days where it rained the most in the last couple of months. So unlucky me.
All the sun when you're inside, and then as soon as you're out, it
Yeah, yeah,
is
like quite
honestly,
ironic.
that's actually I don't know what it was, but I used to work as an Amazon delivery driver back in the States
Right,
once upon a time, and we're supposed to deliver in all weather conditions, right? No
right.
matter in sunshine, rain, sleet, hail. Kind of like the mailman motto.
Mm-hmm.
They say to deliver your mail no matter the weather. But I would every time that I would be off at Amazon, it would be like shiny, sun, beautiful. I got to enjoy the day, but whenever I was working, it was rain, cold, sleet, hail, and I'm like, this is terrible. I gotta run in it, throw the box on the porch, and then run back, and get back in the vehicle. It's great. I got to enjoy it on my off day, the sunny days, but
Yeah, at least.
I would wish I could just have a nice day where it's sunny outside. I just get in, get out the car, not be soaked. It was a
I
struggle. It was a struggle. But
Yeah, I feel you, bro. They call me the rainy man as well.
the rainy man,
The rainy man.
I
You know,
feel it.
like
Yeah.
in Japan they have this. Probably you have same sayings there in America, but in Japan they called Yuki Onna or Yuki
Mm.
Otoko, and it means that whenever you travel, you always get rain, and that's
Exactly.
something that since there is a word for it, I guess that's something that happens to a lot of people. I guess I am kind of a rainy man as well.
I think it's a worldwide phenomena, right?
Yeah.
The idea of you bringing the bad weather with you whenever you go somewhere. Yeah. I can't remember any particular people in my life who like said that they were the rain man or the rain woman
Mm.
or the snowman, snowboard, whatever you want to call it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wait. I mixed things in my brain. It's like Ame Onna. It's not Yuki. Yuki Onna is a yokai. My bad.
Whoa, no, yeah, it is a yokai, but I'm pretty sure like wherever she's at, there's Yuki.
I guess so. But the correct term is Ame Onna. So my bad for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Actually, my girlfriend calls herself a ame onna. Actually,
Really?
now that I think about it, she says whenever she goes out with her family, it always rains.
Oh,
However, when they go out without her, it's always sunny.
damn.
And I was like, that is sad.
That's
That's
unfortunate.
sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the rain. I can't lie, but I not like being in the rain. I like watching it from inside, indoors, and in the warmth
Cozy on the sofa.
in the warmth. But to
Mm.
kind of go back to
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
kind of like to
Let's
the
go back to
beginning,
the theme of
yeah.
the podcast.
So you came to Japan through like by getting married, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
did
Yes.
you? And I know you said that was like getting to Japan, like getting married wasn't like you wanted to go to Japan, but getting married was one of the ways that you could do it. But obviously, it wasn't like that was the
Yeah.
only reason why you guys got married.
Of course. Of course.
Like, were you guys already always planning to get married in the future, and this just presented the opportunity to go ahead and do it,
Yeah.
rather than waiting to for the perfect time, because the perfect time may never
Mm.
come. It's that kind of thing.
There's some to it actually. The thing is, my original plan was to be able to sustain myself in
Mm,
Japan before actually going through the whole process of getting
right.
married. I mean, at least engaged. The thing is that since the pandemic, like Japanese economy kind of shut down for foreigners, so it was super difficult to find a way. All the working visa were completely altered, so there was no possible way for me to get to Japan with a working visa, especially because I never told it before, but I'm Italian, so with my nationality, it's kind of difficult to get to the JET program. It's really, really rare. So in the last 4 years, I only had one session for one person to be hired.
All right.
It was a position to, it was a cultural position in a rural city in Nagasaki Prefecture, so right in the south.
Okay, yeah.
But you can imagine that being Italian, you kind of start with the mindset of there is no jet program is not an option,
Right.
viable option. So the original plan was to find a work and then start living together here and eventually get married. The pandemic was quite difficult. I mean, we were not able to meet for well over 1 year because of legitimate reason, I guess.
Of course.
That I was not able to take neither a tourist visa nor a working visa. So it was long. Not gonna lie, it was quite long, or quite tough as well. And eventually, we decided that we would get married. It was like the pandemic kind of hastened the overall process. It did not cause it, but it sped the pace quite a bit. But no regrets, and right now I'm quite busy making a proper Japanese ceremony, a proper wedding ceremony, which is quite fun. But I guess this will be reserved for a different episode.
Yeah, I know
which is quite a topic in itself.
It is quite a topic.
But you also said that your girlfriend is Japanese, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That is true. My girlfriend is Japanese, and she's in Japan. She's currently in Japan. We met in the States when she studied abroad, and when she came back in 2019, it was kind of like, okay, I graduate 2020. I'm gonna apply to the JET program. Hopefully I can get located in a place near you, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be beautiful. As you all know, Corona stopped everything in its tracks. I was supposed to leave for Japan in September of 2020, and I have only just now, a week and a half ago, on November the 7th, 2021, gotten to Japan. So it was well over a year before after being accepted and telling them giving us our departure date before we got here.
Right.
And I applied in November 2019. So actually 3 days ago on November 15th was the 2-year kind of anniversary for my submitting my application to JET, because I submitted it November 15th, 2019. So it's been a long road, and I haven't seen her since then.
Damn.
Right, since 2019.
Wow.
So it's been a hot minute. 2020, yeah, right. Early 2020 is when I came back, and because I went to go visit her for winter break at the end of 2019. Came back 2020, and then basically from 2020 all the way up to even now, I still haven't seen her.
Right. Quite difficult.
It's still almost 2 years since I haven't seen her. Now, I don't know if we ever plan on getting married.
Right.
It's
still early.
I mean, it's something. Yeah, it's still early. I am still young. Still got a couple years on me. My plan is kind of similar to yours, Marty, or similar to what your plan was.
The original plan.
The original plan.
Prior to
kind
the
of exactly get situated, get stable,
right,
and then find a way in the next 2 or 3 years, hopefully, to move in together and see where it goes from there.
And we will see.
Like if we
will see.
See where it goes from there. If
in Italy we have quite a saying which says that if they are roses, they will bloom. So I guess that's not bad, huh? In Italy we are quite poetic.
I like it. The roses they will bloom, but they also have thorns. Roses also have thorns.
They have.
So you gotta.
But we will see. We will see. How was the overall relation? Like quite 2 years not being able to meet. How were you able to keep going? It's not quite an easy task.
It's interesting because I feel like I'm quite lucky, to have the girlfriend that I have, because she's like, we were both very understanding of the fact that we were both working. We were also 13 hour, like a different 13 to 14 hour time difference. And we might not be able to like talk on the phone, like physically all the time. Right. We messaged every day, just about every day. It would it'll be hours. You know, I'll send her a message, be hours before I get a reply, and vice versa. She'll send me a message. I might be asleep, I might be at work, and it'll be hours before I can reply to her.
Right.
And even when I reply, she might be asleep, and when she reply, I might be asleep. You know, it was an interesting dynamic. However, I think we both just realized that since we both have our own lives that we're living currently, it's not feasible or even really like possible to always, you know, like want to be in each other's face, you know, like doing the like phone like every week, every other day. You know, some people they want to talk all the time, you know, and I get it. I get it. I was very lonely. I'm down bad right now.
Right.
I'm down bad, and just want to see my girlfriend. But you know, it still has not that time. Still in quarantine, but I'm here. At least we're in the same country now. Like, I mean, I say it was good, but you know, we also had, you know, friction. There was some
course,
friction,
definitely.
you know, that came up where it was like, you know, it's been a year and I'm still not there. I was supposed to have been there. I don't know. And she was, you know, talking, you know, about how, because I think like at some point we both just kind of like we were just like, okay, we're dating,
Right.
but we're not even nowhere near each other. So it was just like, it didn't feel it didn't feel like we were a couple.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
Until it got to the point where I was like, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here in the States. And the fact that we're doing what we're doing right now, you know, just kind of texting back and forth. There's no real
Engagement, kind of.
engagement, right? There's no engagement. It doesn't really feel like we're even dating right now. So you know, you know, suggestions of taking a break were brought up and stuff like that. But overall,
Yeah, you managed to.
we're still together. Yeah, we made it through, and I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm
Very
I'm just
good.
looking forward. I don't know if I'll be able to see her before the end of the year.
Damn, you have
Just
to tell her to come to Saga Prefecture.
that's the thing. Like her work schedule
Right.
is very erratic.
Uh,
So it's it's not like, you know, it's not the standard. So it's kind of hard. The only time that she's free is towards the end of the year,
I see.
and actually this weekend coming up.
Oh.
But I'm still gonna be in quarantine.
Oh
So
shit, that's unfortunate.
I'm still gonna be in quarantine. So I
Oh, I'm
can't even
sorry.
go. I can't do anything. So after this weekend, she's gonna be swamped with work, and then I'm gonna be getting used to work as well.
Right.
And then towards the end of the year, she's gonna be spending Christmas with her sister and her family and stuff. And then they're going on a family trip,
Okay.
and then they're gonna do New Year's with the family. Like the only time I'll probably be able to see her is if I went to her family's house and celebrated New Year's with them. But that would still be probably next year, right? Like I don't know if I would be able to make it on the 31st. If they're okay with that, now you know I've been talking to her about it. If they're okay with that, I'll definitely slide through. I really won't be doing anything at that
Yeah.
time anyway. So
I mean, I think everyone hopes here that you will be able to manage it.
right, I don't know, man. If nothing else, if I don't go see her, I can come see you unless you're doing something with the wife.
I might not be able to do something with the wife. I think for Christmas we have something planned,
Yeah.
but she will be quite busy because of her job as well. So probably the end of the year, especially now that there is a lot of sales, a lot of special events going on. So it might be difficult to. I mean, I have plenty of time to just get used to life in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is quite an endeavor. Honestly, that's I was ready. My mindset was quite ready, I thought, to handle this kind of radical change.
Yeah.
But I guess to some extent there is a margin of surprise in this new getting used to Japan. So yeah, overall I will have plenty of things to do as well. And one thing that is quite interesting is that I'm located quite in the countryside as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, which means that it's gonna be kind of a Zen retirement kind of situation when I'm here and I have plenty of time. And then honestly, that's something that I've been dreaming of for quite some time since the pandemic started. Because due to the pandemic, so I moved back to my parents' house because of the overall instability of the situation. I was like, okay, we are gonna play some strategy games here. If I move back to the parents, they're gonna be more helpful also if someone gets sick or everything. So especially, I don't know if you remember the beginning of the whole situation. It was quite like we thought it was the new Spanish flu. We didn't know. We heard about
Yeah,
people dying
yeah.
and everything. So it was a choice dictated both by convenience and safety reason. And in the end, I end up staying there for about 1 year,
Mm.
just before leaving to Japan, coming to Japan. It was nice. I was able to spend some time with my relatives, which is something quite rare, especially when you're getting adult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're craving your personal space. Like you're like, I just want to have my house
Yeah.
empty for a couple of hours. It's just give me that. So I guess overall, I'm not that sad that I'm not in the middle of a city. I can save some money as well.
Right, right, right.
So
I'm also very excited, for this journey I'm about to embark on the JET program because I'm 24 years old now currently,
right.
and I have yet to have my own place.
Mm,
When I studied abroad in Japan, I lived in a dorm,
right.
and it was actually a really nice dorm.
Mm,
I lived there by myself, so I didn't have a roommate, and I had a little kitchen and a bathroom. It was a really nice little. It was like a little mini apartment.
right.
So that was kind of like the first taste of kind of living on my own that I got. And typically, people on the JET program are newly graduated, college undergrads, right?
Right.
Straight out of college,
Mm.
coming straight over to teach English or to be a CIR in my case, and a vast majority of them have not ever had a job.
Right.
So this is like their first job. This is their first time away from home outside of the country in most cases, except for being in college where they're away from home.
Mm.
And it's a whole different. In some cases you might have to get a car if you're like in the Inaka. I might end up having to get a car,
Right.
and it's like I'm really like I never really got to like do the life game back at home. I was living with my parents as well during the entire time, and again, like you said, it's nice to be able to be there and help out and enjoy all the time with the fam. But then again, you're like, sheesh, I'm just trying to get away. Like I need to go. I need to go.
Yeah.
Like you can't go and be by yourself when you're
Yeah.
with your family. And this now, this opportunity is giving me the opportunity. I'm gonna literally have my own apartment for the first time
Yeah.
in a foreign country.
Hey.
Like the first time I have my apartment is gonna be in a foreign
That's
country.
a wild ride.
I might have a first time I have a cars in a foreign country.
Hey.
Luckily I've worked plenty of
Watch
jobs.
out because the driving system is
Oh
different.
my
They drive on the left.
goodness, yes. Like I'm well aware.
Did you forget about
But
that?
it's so as I'm up here in this hotel, I can look down on
You study.
on the masses, on the plebs, as I just stare down on them, and I'm watching everyone drive because I love driving. I love driving.
Right.
I did quite a few driving jobs before I came here to Japan, and I have to say, I was trying to I put myself in the driver's seat in Japan, and I just couldn't fathom it turning to the left, like in America, we drive. Obviously, we drive on the right.
Yeah.
When you turn to the left, you're turning into incoming traffic.
Right.
But when you turn to the right, you're turning into
You're safe.
ongoing traffic. Like the same,
Right.
it's the same. You're all going to the right, right? It's easy. Boom.
Exactly.
But it's the opposite. When you're turning to the left here in Japan,
You're safe.
you're going into ongoing traffic. It's like turning to the right, and then vice versa. You have to watch it. I was like, oh, obviously, I just need to get behind the wheel and do it a couple times.
Yeah,
but I
I
was
guess.
looking at them doing. I was like, that is so weird.
That's weird.
They're going this way across the way. It's
It
weird.
is. It is.
Like, cause like I don't know. I obviously I'm probably gonna do it if I can get a car. I feel like that'll be clutch, but it's also an expense, right?
It is.
That I don't know if I really want to.
Especially in Japan, it's quite expensive.
Yeah, I don't know if I really want to take on that expense. And it's unfortunate because I'm in a place that doesn't have a train,
Right.
a JR train or Shinkansen otherwise, and so I have to take the bus
Mm.
to the next city to get to the train to then get to wherever I want to go.
Right.
It's not an issue
Mm.
because I'll save money on commuting to work, so I walk to work. I don't live far away from where I'll be working.
Which is quite good.
Yeah, so I won't have to spend any money on commuting. So whenever I want to go travel, hey, boom, 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 just I can splurge on a bus and a train.
Right.
It's not like I'm like, dang, I need to save this money for commuting when I come back, kind of
Right,
thing.
right.
So overall, I'm looking forward to this opportunity, right? This journey that I'm about to go on here in Japan.
Wow.
I'm gonna get to actually live life
In Japan, as a Japanese kind of.
in Japan, right? And
Have you
for the
ever
first time,
have you
right?
ever been grocery shop in Japan, like actively doing some cooking in Japan with using like the real Japanese stuff, not Shin ramen does not count.
I
Instant
mean,
ramen is not counted. We don't count it. It's not considered like
yeah,
proper food.
no, no, no. Of course, of course. I have had my fair share of Shin ramen, of course,
Yeah.
but at one point in time when I was studying abroad, I was very low on funds.
Mm.
So I would go and buy a bunch of like cheap ingredients
Right.
that could last me for a
Sometime.
week or
Yeah.
so, some time. Like it would be like some potatoes, some cucumbers, maybe some michiniku,
Mm.
some onions, and that'll be it, honestly. And then I'll just make michiniku, not a tomato, potato. Like cut up the potato, cut up the onions, get the michiniku in there, and it's ground beef. I keep saying michiniku. It's ground
Yeah.
beef,
Okay.
and literally just throw it in a skillet and now. So I haven't actually cooked with any traditional
Right.
Japanese spices
Mm.
and shoyu and all that good stuff. And
That thing is wild.
however, I do want to take a cooking class.
Oh.
Apparently, every city in Japan has a cooking
Really?
class. Apparently, this is a thing.
That's interesting for me as well.
This is what I've heard. I want to take a cooking class, so I'm not always eating out,
Right.
always eating Shin ramen.
Mm.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I love Shin ramen, but
But
I want to learn to cook for myself. So I'm going to be living literally on my own.
yeah.
And in college, and studying abroad, there was the cafeteria. There's a shokudo, so I could slide to the shokudo or something and make some
Right.
food. But
Not anymore.
yeah,
Now
I'm gonna
it's
be
real
adulting,
life.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be adulting, so I
Yeah.
should learn how to cook some basic meals.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to the whole
That's something.
experience.
That's something that I find quite challenging. The first time I stepped into a proper grocery shop in Japan, I was completely lost. But not only because of the weird ingredients, but it's simply because like sometimes something that you think that it's completely normal in your country, then you have to look for it. And then you
Yeah.
discover that your really base pasta, which is not good in Italy, then you find it that it costs like 500-600 yen, which is about like $5-6, which is quite expensive. So I've been shying away from doing proper Japanese cooking for quite some time, but now
Yeah.
I have no excuse anymore. I have a proper household to keep managing and everything. So I think from now, like now is official the starting point of my journey into Japanese cuisine and everything.
Exactly.
Most difficult thing I think is to handle all the spices, all the soy sauce, the mirin,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ponzu, and all this little stuff that you cannot imagine how to use it. It's really difficult to know how to properly use them because an ingredient, let's say I take a fish, I cook it and I eat it, and then I can understand how I can process this peculiar food.
Yeah.
But with the spices and with all these kind of materials like soy sauce that you're not really used to use, and the way they use them as well. So I think that's gonna be quite an interesting episode about just cooking in Japan.
That's true. Yeah, we
to-
can talk about
We need to get a little bit, take some
Get
experience.
some
Now we are like
experience, yeah.
level 0. like we with the random NPC that's
Yeah.
useless and dies in the first 5 seconds of an isekai anime.
Yeah, we're at the
So now,
beginning
now we are
village.
the bottom.
Yeah, we're at the
Yeah,
beginning village.
on
Yeah, it's gonna.
really the bottom of the pyramid, and we need to take some experience before being able to share something with you
Yeah,
guys.
no, most definitely. It's like once I get into that cooking class, I'm gonna get a cookbook.
Yeah.
It's gonna sit in my kitchen, and I'm gonna make a dish a day. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, it's gonna be amazing.
There was just let me add something about that. There is quite an interesting website. It's called Just One Cookbook
Ooh.
about Japanese and overall about Asian foods. But it has a Japanese perspective. I think the owner is a Japanese lady.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I was in France and in Italy, it was quite helpful to understand how to cook some basic stuff. And you can find pretty much a lot of, let's say, more famous dishes, Japanese dishes. So that there's
Like
some,
omuraisu.
yeah, like omuraisu. I learned how to do shogayaki, which is a saute of pork meat with ginger, which is really good.
Yeah.
I did chashu as well, thanks to that website. Yeah.
Oh.
So they give you a lot of insights how to use it, and usually I think they have a YouTube channel as well, which is really helpful. Yeah, so you can see how to process the thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, for a beginner, that's if you know a little bit how to cook in general, for a beginner in Japanese food, that's really a nice starting point, just to start experimenting with the different perspective on food.
Definitely send me that link to the website. I need that.
Yeah, I will. I will put it down in the
Okay, yeah,
in
throw
the
it in the
section below
description.
as
Yeah,
well,
most
probably. And I don't know, on Spotify, SoundCloud. I have no idea how you can put websites. Quite a newbie on that, but I will try my best to make you know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Hopefully one day they'll sponsor our podcast,
Hopefully,
and we can
if we have some listener.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Once we get to that point, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you heard it here first, folks.
Hey,
you heard it here first. We called it.
It was thanks to you, to our first listener, that we will able to
our first listeners, for our viewers,
sponsored stuff.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
definitely,
great, guys.
Definitely.
Oh man,
looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. And just one more thing before we wrap it up. When you mentioned shopping in the supermarket, and how expensive things can be, I think Japan is most notably like infamous for its very expensive fruits.
It is.
Like you can get like some $100 grapes and
the melon.
And it's only in melon. Oh man, the strawberries. Yeah. The apples from Aomori. Oh yes, it's
the basic pattern is that in Europe, what you pay by the kilos, you pay by the unit here in Japan. That's the common pattern.
That's the changeover. Yeah, exactly. No, honestly, and you guys might think we're joking. No, dead serious. Like you guys need to go to a Japanese supermarket whenever you guys make it over here. Get in the country. Country opens back up. Go. Look at it, take pictures, spread the news. This is right with the send them to us.
I mean, but it's juicy. Honestly, the Japanese fruit is among the best fruits I ever had. I mean, I think probably when you pay $5 for one apple, you savor it a little bit more than when you pay way less.
Yeah.
A cool strategy is that if you live nearby some countryside, just go to locals. Usually they have nearby here, we have like a local shop, a co-op, and they selling like locally produced vegetables and fruits. Still expensive as fuck, but affordably expensive.
Affordably expensive. All right.
So you can have some apple, some mikan, some mandarin, tangerine, but still that's quite a huge budget.
Once we get some nice viewership, someone's gonna come back to the episode 0, and they're gonna meme you. They're gonna like cut out they're gonna crop your face and then put affordably expensive Marty 2021. It's gonna be attributed to you. That's gonna be your quote.
Hey, you hear it first. You
You
heard
heard
it
it
first.
first. Oh man, that is hilarious, honestly. And
I
yeah, like if you're in the countryside, you can definitely slide to some. Like if you're just walking around,
yeah.
get to know some of the locals and stuff, and some of the Obachan and Oji-chan, because a lot of them they have their own farms, right? They're
Most importantly, when you have your stroll in your city, you just have to repair. Someone might have a garden, and in that garden they might have some fruit trees, and usually they don't care about that. So you
exactly.
just knock on the door, just pretend you just put on your foreigner face. Hey, I saw that you have some nice tangerine over there. Do you plan to eat them? No? Oh, what about I'm gonna clean your tree for you? It's gonna be free. Just give me everything, I clean it. And that's something I'm planning to do here actually. You see someone that just see things dropping and just, hello, can I have them?
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past someone going up and asking for it, and then the Japanese people like, yeah, go ahead. Now,
Man, that's what the in-law suggested me to do.
really, wow,
Yes.
there.
Just try. I mean, you're a foreigner, they might try. Worst case scenario, they say that they're gonna call the police.
Oh man, I mean that is the worst case scenario. You
It
better
is.
book it and get out of
Yeah.
there quick. Like, no, like there was this place in Itoshima
Right.
where
Which is nearby Fukuoka in Kyushu Island, by
exactly,
the
yes,
way.
it's where we had studied abroad
Yeah.
before at the place in Itoshima City
Mm.
during winter break. I was a broke bitch. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys know. And everyone was out traveling
Right.
while me and maybe a handful of other JTW students.
I was there too. I broke my feet.
That's true, but he wasn't there, you know, because he wanted to be there.
purpose.
He was
I was not
forced.
there on purpose.
And
I was forced.
and so like as I was there, like I wanted to just get out and just walk around and see some stuff. And as I was walking around, I went up this hill. It was behind the dorm, and at the top there was like a construction site. So it was like a bunch of rocks and old kind of like I think it was abandoned. Like there was no one. I don't think anyone ever went there.
Right.
There was like old like machinery and stuff up there. But on my way up there, I saw a nice line of mandarin trees, like the oranges,
Hey.
right? The tangerines, and I was like, I want to eat one.
Right.
But I don't know if these are actually someone's trees. Like, am I on someone's property right now? Like,
There might be.
should I and apparently there was some people like camping deeper, like there's like a little kind of like forest area on the way up, and there were some people in there camping.
Right.
I can see a fire, and I can see like a smoke signal. That wasn't a smoke signal,
Okay.
but you can see smoke come rising up, and I was like, oh, maybe I was gonna take a couple and just like leave, but I was like, you know what, I'm not. I'll just keep going.
Not gonna risk
I'll
it.
just keep going. Worst case scenario, they come back. They're like, we got 4 oranges missing. Where the fuck did they go?
That would make a pretty funny article to read in the next day newspaper. Foreigner in local Itoshima steals 4 orange. Currently is gonna be forcefully repatriated in the US.
Yeah, like you see the article. It's like 4 oranges go missing from local farm.
Exactly.
Suspect is foreigner that was seen earlier that day.
Exactly. We saw it. We caught him. Now it's gonna be sent back to Japan and forcibly 5 years entry ban, just for 4 oranges.
Shit, it's already been 4 years.
I think you
it's
can
been
settle.
3 years. Yeah, I don't mean like.
Yeah, you can settle it. I think you say, okay, I'm giving you 3,000 yen and let me keep the 4 oranges. I'm really sorry.
I'll give you 1,000 yen per orange.
Exactly.
For 4,000 yen, I paid for it. We're good here.
Which is about the price they're selling it.
Right. It's wild, right? Fruit in Japan. You guys come check it out. If you like fruit, you're gonna be breaking the bank.
But at the same time, you can find if you pay close attention to the seasonality of things, both for fruits and for vegetables, you might be able to catch some serious deals.
Yeah.
So right now, unfortunately, we're getting into the winter. You can grasp some mandarins, some tangerines. There is quite a lot of production. Kakis are might not be super expensive.
Right.
And a lot of like vegetables. Of course, if you want to eat some tomatoes in winter, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money on it. So just be careful. You have to pay close attention to even more than what we are used to in Europe, for example. In Europe, we have this kind of fluctuancy of prices as well, but it's not as wide as here. So you have to pay super close attention to the seasonality of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly. And I know, like, especially for like strawberries, I'm not entirely sure when they're in season or what.
Winter.
They're in winter.
Would you ever say?
No, like they
probably
the price jump. I don't eat strawberries that often. I really eat more apples, bananas, grapes, possibly. So those are a little bit different. Yeah, like you said, the price jump is so different when they're in season, right?
Yeah, weirdly enough.
Oh, when they're out of season, I guess.
I mean, the thing is that for usually the season for strawberries is summer or early summer. The thing is that there is this peculiar strawberry. It's called Amao, which is the king of fruitiness.
Yeah.
The king of sweetness. It's like a variety which is peak season is in the middle of winter, and that thing is like pure sugar. That's like a blast. It's a blast of sugar. And I think one of the places that are quite famous for it is Itoshima in Fukuoka Prefecture, where we stayed. Yeah, where we stayed. So I've seen, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a box of 3 of those strawberries going for about 15 euros or $15.
Just 3 single strawberries was $15.
I mean, they're quite big. Like they are the size of a small tangerine, so that's quite a massive strawberry. But at the same time, if you say to a normal Italian, would you ever pay 15 euros for 3 strawberries? They're gonna go, you're actively kidding me. Like you're seriously not even trying to make a fool of myself.
15? Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think anyone in the States would. I think like just overall internationally, apparently prices just been going up. Inflation is happening. Things are just gas is going up. Yeah.
Yeah, the gasoline for you.
Yeah, also food cost is also going up too. So I think at some point we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna end up having to pay $10 for some fruits or $5 for some fruits, and it's probably just gonna get even worse in Japan. Just imagine.
Yeah.
They're gonna all right, it's $15 now. And then it's gonna be $25 later. Like what for 3 strawberries? Oh goodness!
Yeah, but right now you're in quarantine, so you don't feel it. But prices are being skyrocketing here recently because of the gasoline problem. So since the pandemic, quite reduced the demand of gasoline, so they reduced the production of gasoline. But when we start back again, gasoline here in Japan is record high right now, which means that everything is expensive. Everything. It's like so expensive. You have no idea. So you're gonna realize when you step outside of the quarantine on Sunday.
Ooh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Also, not looking forward to it, but
you're looking forward to it. All things considered.
It's
right?
good. Yeah. I'll pay a couple extra yen. For some freedom.
Yeah. Worth it.
Shit.
Which means that the next time we're gonna record the podcast, you're gonna be already in Saga Prefecture, right?
That's true. And hopefully I'll have some
interesting
new information. Some news, new anything, right, to share with you guys about the city, about the people, about my job, whatever.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's gonna be the first episode of our podcast since this one is episode 0.
That's true, and I'm also looking forward to in 2 months your wedding.
Oh yeah.
By then we'll probably be on like episode 3 or 4 if everything goes according to plan.
Even 5 maybe.
And maybe even 5, right? If we're really going
passionate about
maybe. Right, doing 2 a month, I think is good. I think, yeah.
Also, if we have a good response from you, our dear listener, I don't know how many people made it. Probably not.
Exactly.
A lot of you guys.
If we start seeing some traction, on the different platforms.
Hey,
We'll definitely once a week
frequency is gonna skyrocket.
on the weekends, and upload that stuff for you guys.
Ah,
But again, episode 0. Yeah,
yeah,
we're just getting started. So we'll try to do 2 a month,
yeah.
and yeah.
Be kind. Be kind to us, and I hope we entertained you. We will try. We're looking forward to bring
Mm-hmm.
some interesting topics and try to get used to all the entertaining part of a podcast and talking to each other while talking about interesting stuff for you. I hope so.
Yeah.
So I guess we can wrap it up, right?
Yeah, I think this is a good place to just wrap it on up and
Yeah.
call it a day. I think we've done it.
Do you have some last words? How do you want to wrap it up? I would say if you agree with that, I would say that we can close it with like the word of the week is gonna be affordably expensive, right?
Yeah, that is the word of the week. Word of the week is affordably expensive. You heard it here, folks. No one else but our host Marty here.
Hey, I am
Come here for the for the
the word
for the good
making.
stuff.
All right. So we bid you a nice evening, a nice morning if you listen to us in the morning, a nice lunch if you're eating right now, and thank you for listening.
Yeah.
And see you back in episode 1, which will be about we have no idea yet, so it's gonna be a surprise.
Hey, it's every episode is gonna be a surprise. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Alrighty. So cheers, you guys, and catch you in a couple of
Let's
weeks.
do it again.